And once again, we are live. Welcome if you are listening to our podcast or you might be watching us on our YouTube channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today, I am joined by the lovely Tanmaya. Hello, Tanmaya. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm very pleased that we're able to get you on. I know we've had you as a guest before, and you've written these most beautiful meditations, and the goddess meditations, and we've talked about those in particular. But what I really wanted to find out was a little bit more about your own journey. What your life was like pre-mystery school until you found the life activation or initiation, what it is that you did, and then what your life is like now. If you could squeeze it all into that 10-minute slot, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, well, I kind of always had a desire to serve or to make a difference or to do something that would make other people evolve, progress, or to kind of better my environment. And I was looking for a way of doing that very much. And after my studies in engineering, I was working in industry, and it wasn't really, I wasn't really clear about how I was going to make a difference because it didn't feel like my job was meaningful. And so I went and lived in India for some time and worked with fair trade farmers there. I thought that kind of working with fair trade communities would make a difference. And when I was there, I realized that actually they were, having a good life, and that my presumptions that, me coming organizing their life would kind of make a difference was actually quite arrogant. And so that kind of led me to a journey inwards, where I realized that if I wanted to make things better, I needed to, better myself first, to understand more about my inner climate and to shift some of the, energies I was feeling within myself that I felt were actually not very beneficial either to myself or to the people around me. And so then when I came back from that, that time in India, I had been living there without fridge or in a very simple way, and I came back to civilization in Switzerland, and it was kind of a bit of a shock. And I went on to do business school and to have because that was something that was already kind of laid out for me. I had already passed all the tests, so I kind of decided to do it. But as I was doing that, I had changed so much. I couldn't just go back to having a normal, just a standard life where it was just about one thing. I always wanted my life to be more than just one thing. And so I was searching for that, and I trained in different forms of therapy and inner work that you can do, including lots of forms of meditation. And I was kind of in that time of juggling both my consulting work as well as those trainings in my sabbaticals when I encountered the life activation. And it was actually I just remember that it was just when I left my permanent job that I have at the time and set myself up as an independent. And I remember at the time when I got my life activation, I had a lot of fear of judgment. I had just left the corporate world. And although I had been kind of on the edge for a long time, I kind of still felt like I needed to be acknowledged, or kind of, in order to feel safe, I needed to be respected by the people in that community, and that this meant that it needed to be a certain way. So I was kind of struggling with my identity, you could say. And when I had the life activation, it shifted something where that fear of being judged kind of fell away. It felt like, oh, I can just express whatever I want to express, and that's up to me. And I don't have to worry about what people are going to think about me, or whether they're going to understand my choices or my path. And that was quite a big shift for me, because that had been something I was shifting for a while and didn't seem to be able to break through it. So the life activation really changed that. And then after that, I did empower myself, kind of because it was the next step. I didn't really know what to expect from it. But then again, I started using the tools. I didn't actually enjoy the class very much, to be honest, but I did use the tools. And when I used the tools, I felt such a big shift in my ability to manage my energy, to set boundaries, to be in environments that were difficult, to handle people being angry at me, which was always something that was difficult for me in the past, in a way that wouldn't, like after Empower, I could just, handle those situations without being thrown by it, and realize, oh yeah, okay, they're angry, but it's fine. I can manage. Versus before, it would set me into like a, panic attack or something. So yeah, that was a big shift. And yeah, and so I then went on and did the life activation training to be, the Healers Academy, how to become a life activation practitioner. Mostly because of my other trainings I had already done. I was working with people. So I had a practice. I had people that were coming to me with different issues, trauma healing or inner child healing, things like that. And so I was like, oh, let me just add this one tool to my practice. Let's just see what that does. And I trained and I started doing life activations right away. And that was really like my big breakthrough. That's when I realized the power of the lineage and the power of this work. Because when I started giving the life activations with every single person, I saw so much shift. I saw so much change in such a little time. And because of how I work with people, I kind of continue to see some of them, for a period of time because I was doing other sessions with them. And I really noticed how much they changed before and after. And so that really fired me up. And I was like, okay, that's it. I want to become a guide. I want to, know how to initiate those people. And so from then on, I was kind of really very involved, with all my training and in the school in general. And what I can say is that as a result, my life has become so much easier. Like whenever I need something, it just comes into my life. Whenever I need to shift something, it starts shifting. I feel like the more light I flow to other people in my sessions, in my work, the more, it flows into my own life. So it's kind of like an upward spiral, you could call it almost. Yeah. And really enjoyed the journey.
Oh, that's amazing. And I know that your life is, you're a mother
Mm-hmm.
now as well. And I see the way that you use the tools in your family life as well to bring that
Mm-hmm.
peace and calmness as well as, which is amazing to see. And I think, really makes a difference for parents as well.
It's huge. I mean, I'm so grateful I have these tools because I'm naturally quite impatient and driven. And I think around children, you just can't be like that. And so the tools really help me to rebalance, recenter, quiet myself down, and in a short period of time. So it only takes a few minutes to do the rituals from Empower. And right away, I feel more balanced and more centered. So I like to do them before bedtime. So I'm calm and centered for bedtime, or other like those kind of moments that can be difficult because everyone's needs can be clashing. That's what happens in families sometimes. Everyone needs something, but not the same thing. So, so how do you manage that? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing your journey. I know that's going to inspire so many because as I was saying earlier that I think so many out there have tried different things and want to help and they're not quite sure. And it's like, we're all trying to fix everything out there to help people. But
Mm-hmm.
actually, like you say, it's just starting off with yourself and
Yeah.
starting off that work from within, and then we can flow it out to others.
Yes. And I think also it's realizing that we don't have to just be one thing. So, I still manage a business, a consulting business actually, and I do it in a different way now. I'm not full time. I have people who I place on projects that are the perfect fit for that client, and that I coach and support through that journey and all of that. And so, kind of that is something I still really enjoy doing while I'm also a healer. And most people would say, how can be a consultant and a healer or like a guide, And why not? We can be artists and musicians and engineers and whatever we want to be. And I think that is what I've really enjoyed about the school, the fact that you can truly express your gifts in your unique way rather than, what maybe the expectations, what we think we might be expected to express. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Tanmaya. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your story. And I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did. And we'll see you all again next time.
Yes. Thank you.